Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yesterday, who was doing the lab? Somebody I told to shut down this machine. I forgot who's the guy who was doing the lab.
I guess it was Nishant Yadav. Probably.
Nishant Yadav, I guess.
Okay, today is not joined. 1 second, hold on. Nishant. Okay, maybe he's not there. I tried pinging him, no response. Can somebody take the control? Nanju, do you want to share your screen? Devesh or someone who want to share the screen?
Shamir, can I share my machine? What will do the database lab?
Yeah, we only did the Windows. No, we need to do the Linux one.
Okay.
I made you the host.
Yeah. Can you see my machine?
Yeah, I can't see now. No, you need to share your screen. Share your screen, no?
Yes, I already shared. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I can see. Yeah, log into your AWS console. You need to install the Amazon Linux AMI and connect to the Amazon Linux AMI, then launch the database instance so that we can test the MySQL database.
Linux. So first I will create a EC2, Linux EC2, right?
Yes, Amazon Linux AMI, correct.
Yes. So launch. Yeah.
Uh, Hello. Hello, Samir.
Yeah.
Samir, I have one question. I just need to know, can we use these databases while developing application?
Yeah.
So how can we integrate this database in my, like if I'm doing a code, so that
It
time.
is like this. So you need to understand database is a software, right? So
Okay. Yeah.
now your developer want to write, he need to have a editor, query editor to write it. Okay. So I am giving the database to you. Now it is for your developer who want to use it. They can use it by logging in, and to connect to the username, you can create the users inside the database and you can give them access, and they can log in and they can do whatever they want to do it. They want to write the develop any queries on the database, they can do it by themselves.
Yes.
Now, yesterday we
Actually,
have seen, right? Yesterday you have seen how to install the database, and there can you, I showed you, right? SQL Management Studio yesterday you have seen, right?
yes, right.
So their databases on the right click. If you right click on the database, there you have seen create database option, correct?
Right.
So once you create the database, now the if that user wants to do some kind of an activity, there is a users also one option is there. If you go inside the database, you can create and you can give it to them, and they can install the what is the database connector. Okay, and they can write the queries, SQL queries. There will be software will be there which they need to install, and they need to connect to the database using their user credentials, and they can write the queries and whatever they want to do.
Can you show this after this task is over?
That is the developer. Anybody in the group who is a developer, only that guy can do that part. We can't do, right?
Okay.
We are admins.
Yes, yes, right.
If anybody is a development background, Devesh, are you from development background?
Yes.
Can you show them how to write the queries on the database?
Yeah. Sure. Definitely, I'll show you.
So, which so which path we have to give while connecting database? Hello.
Yeah, what you saying?
Which path we have to give while connecting to database?
Which path in the sense?
Means whenever we're writing a code, we give there like localhost colon 6060, or if like MATLAB there is. So the basically they gives a link to connect database.
AWS will create an endpoint, right? Yesterday you seen the endpoint. You need to use the
Yes, yes.
endpoint to connect.
Okay, okay.
Hi, Samir.
Yeah, Nanju.
Samir, I just want to know, like, now we are giving all traffic to connect to database, right? Like in real environment, like you're not going to give all traffic.
Yes,
Like,
because here you're doing it because you're connecting via internet, via public, but in the production you'll not use the public, so you no need to do any all traffic and all there.
how to create to Bastion server or Bastion host through this
I
database?
already told you long back, again the same thing. Same like Windows, if you want to make a Bastion host, it's a Linux machine. You need to install the agent on your Linux operating system. So I will send you the link to your WhatsApp number. You can install it. Okay, it's a small software like in Windows. How do we install RDS service? Same way, you need to install on the Linux machine. The moment you install it, it will allow you to do the multiple connections. Bastion host is nothing but it is an SSH forwarding process, we say. So basically, it will allow you to connect from one Linux machine to another Linux machine, and multiple machines you can connect with a single Bastion host. Same like in Windows, we have RDS server where you need to install a role called RDS. It's a similar kind of a concept. I will send you the link. You can follow that steps and you can configure it. It is only for the Linux operating systems.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Devesh, just open a notepad and write the steps so that people will be able to understand what we're doing. Okay. Step 1, launch a RDS MySQL instance in default VPC. Step 2, launch an Amazon Linux EC2 instance in free tier with public IP.
Launch Linux.
Yeah, Linux EC2 instance. With public IP. Step 3, connect to the Linux instance via SSH. Connect to Linux instance. Linux instance via SSH. Install MySQL client on your EC2 instance. Step 4, install MySQL client on your EC2 instance.
MySQL to sorry.
MySQL client on your EC2 instance.
EC2 instance.
Okay, and connect to MySQL RDS instance via Linux. MySQL RDS instance via Linux machine. Yeah, and step 6, create a database. Add a table, insert few records and test it. Few records and test it. Pratik, that last 6th step is there, no? That step only will be done by the developer. Okay.
Okay.
So that one, I think Devesh can do it very quickly. Okay. The first 5
Okay.
steps is the responsibility of AWS admin or a database admin. Okay. So the last step to configure the creating a table, creating the records, typing, doing the queries and all those, it's not my job. My job is only to create the database and hand over to the customer.
Okay.
First step is done. Then launch a
No,
Linux.
first step is not done, no. You did the second step. First step, you need to do it now. Go to the management console.
Yes, Linux machine is created. Okay, I will again create a machine. Okay.
No. You need to go and create the RDS instance. No, you created a Linux. Go to the RDS console.
Okay. MySQL, right? Yes.
Sumit, this same step we have to follow for no SQL database also.
Same to same, no difference at all. MySQL, go for the scroll down. Yeah, free tier.
Version is fine, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
India 123.
Okay.
India 123. Admin is the username and password India 123. This is free, right? Okay. BPC and okay, by default selected. Okay. Enable storage. Okay. Page 5. So BPC default BPC and okay default. So, I think public access, right? Samir here.
No, you can go with private only, no problem. Go with default VPC security group. Yeah, click on default. Yeah.
It's not taking. Okay.
You can say no preference. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, password authentication. That's fine. Yeah, create database.
I think it will take a few minutes to
Yeah, meanwhile, can you install the MySQL client?
MySQL client. Okay. Here, right? On Linux.
Yeah.
Will I connect through the putty or this fine?
Yeah,
Here?
connect through putty.
Not this, right? What happened? This earlier it was not. So it's a different. Shamir, it was something is GUI is different.
No, same only. Click on load. No. At the center load is there. No, click on load. Yeah. All files. Give the name. Save private key. Yes. Select desktop. Yeah, give a name. My Linux, yeah. Save.
Generate, right?
Madesh, you have to connect by putty.
I think putty gen. Oh,
No,
Putty,
putty,
putty.
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 okay. Oh, this
Yeah,
Authentication.
yeah. You have to give host IP address over there
IP address.
first.
54.91.210.233 is your IP address.
50 dot
54.91.210.233.
210.233.
Yeah. Go to SSH and click on auth. Yeah, browse and upload your the file which you created just now in the desktop, no PPK file. In your desktop, you
Desktop.
pasted.
It's all files.
No, in your
Yeah.
desktop you kept it.
Yeah, so Linux keypair.pem, no?
My Linux.
Okay.
Click on open. Yes. EC2-user. Enter.
Password administrator.
Enter. Yeah. Sudo su. No. Sudo space su. SU. Enter. Yes. Now you need to install MySQL client. I think you know, right, how to install?
I forget. I think I forgot how to install.
M space install space.
M space.
Not M, YUM.
Oh yeah, my UM.
Install space.
MySQL.
Yeah. MySQL. Enter.
Yes.
That's it. Your MySQL is done now. So now you need to test the connectivity. To test the connectivity, your RDS should be ready. So open your notepad. So first one is done. Step 2 is done. Step 3 is done. Step 4 is done.
Just hold on. Sunny, just a second. I will. Launch first done, second okay. Connect to the Linux instance. Okay. Now fourth also done, right? Install MySQL and
Yeah.
connect MySQL IDs. Now fifth steps.
Yes.
So now we can put the connect here or
No. First you need to check the database created or not. You need to check.
So what was that command to install this client?
Pardon? What is that?
What was that command to install client?
M space install space MySQL. No, go open the notepad, Devesh, once. Yeah, put that command there. Install MySQL client. Yeah, below that enter. YUM space install space MySQL. That is a command. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Now check the MySQL database in the console. Yeah. See if it is ready. It is backing up, right? Okay. Just wait for a second. Yeah. Click on that MySQL database. Yes. Yeah. Scroll down. Yeah. So that is the security group. Okay. Click on that security group on the right side, default security group at the top. Yeah. Click on that. And make sure that firewall is open. Click on that SG2431. Yeah. Go to inbound and out, inbound rules and edit. Yeah, edit. Make it source anywhere. Yeah, scroll down. Save it. Yeah. Go back there.
Outbound also, right?
Not required.
Okay.
Go back to database again. Not here. You need to go to database console. Click on start services top. Click on RDS. Yeah, click on the database. Yeah, click on database. Click on that MySQL database. Yeah, scroll down. So that is your endpoint to connect. Okay. So MySQL database, that one you need to use to connect it. So before that, scroll down once. I'm just seeing other options. Scroll down. Completely scroll down. Go up, go up, go up. Completely up. Yeah, click on actions at the top. Okay, okay. Okay, now you got the database. Copy that
Yes.
endpoint in the notepad. Yeah. So we need to use this endpoint to connect up. Okay. So and the port number.
Now database created, I think. Let me check.
Samir,
Where do I get
1433
the port number,
is
Samir?
default.
What?
Where do I get the port number? You mentioned the port number you need to mention over here, right?
It is given no in the endpoint 3306.
This
Okay,
is
got it.
yeah.
The default port number is 1433, na, I guess, for database.
No, this is MySQL port number.
Okay, okay.
So now Samir will connect to database, right?
Yeah, you need to connect to the database.
So Yum, right? Yum and connect.
Yes. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You are no, no, no. First clear CLER clear. MySQL MySQL -H space paste that endpoint. Space -p space 3306, no?
3306. Yes.
Space -u. What was the database name you have given?
MySQL database.
Space -p password. So when you put -p in 3306, that should be capital, the before one, before -p. No, not this one.
Port number.
Where? Port number, right? This one. Okay.
Yeah, enter. What was the database password you kept?
India 123.
Yeah, give that.
Something is wrong.
Your password is wrong.
Just wait. I will. Okay. Enter. IND India 123. No, password is correct. I put
You do one thing, remove that port number and just -p 3306, you remove it. Yeah, enter. No. .com space.
Yeah, it's space.
Enter.
India 123.
What happened?
It is connected.
His battery gone out.
Oh, I think it's got shut down. I think so, his machine.
So Samir, my only question is, like yesterday when we are checking, so when there we have a window open and there you have shared the host name and ID and password, but where this yum install MySQL came, where do I need to put this command itself?
That is in your Linux machine. This is, you are testing the database from your operating system to the database server, right? So your database server is your Linux machine. Okay, so for example, okay, 1 second. I am sharing my screen. I think it will take time for him to come back. So see, this is your AWS RDS. Okay, it can be MySQL Server, it can be SQL Server 2000, it can be Oracle, it can be anything. Okay, so this is your end user laptop, end user AWS EC2 instance. It's a EC2 instance. So you are creating from this EC2 instance, you want to access this database. From this EC2 instance, you want to access this database. You can access these databases with the help of the operating system. So if it is Windows server, you need ODBC connector. If it is Linux machine, you need, if it is a MySQL database, you need to have MySQL client needs to be installed. Okay. If it is Oracle, Oracle agent need to be installed. So like this, every operating system, whichever the operating system you want to connect to the database, you need to have that software installed, then only it will work.
I understood your software part. What I don't understand means at the when the scenario is written over there, it is saying you have given a command yum install MySQL. Okay, but when you after logged into that whole means logged into that Linux agent, the command was MySQL. After that hyphen UI hyphen the host name. Means the EC means where DB2 instance you have mentioned over there, right?
Yeah. So MySQL client I've installed, right? Now I want to connect to the
So
database.
that is after installation. I need to connect to that database, right?
Yes.
To that table. Okay. That's what my doubts are.
Hello. Yeah, Samir, I come back. Actually, my machine restarted.
But is your system is on or it's gone?
No, it's up now.
Okay, 1 second. Let me give you back the host.
Okay.
You got the access?
Yes. I think, can you see my machine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were here only, right? Okay. My Linux machine is here. So, okay, I will put the password again. No, Samir, here is not connected.
Authentication plugin cache in HTTP cannot be loaded. The MySQL plugin cannot be opened. Such file or directory. Your password is wrong. 1 second. Okay. Just go to upside.
Yeah, okay.
No, same command. No. Just hit the up arrow.
Okay.
Remove that -p completely till -u. Yeah. Yeah. Enter. Why it is not taking? SHA 256 cannot be loaded. Are you sure your password is correct only? No.
Yeah, password is correct. I put India 123. I think I told at that time. Can I check or reset the password?
No, 1 second. Hold on. Give me a minute. Let me check in my laptop. 1 second.
Check here.
1 second.
Sure.
Hello.
Devesh, type history command over there.
Which command?
History.
History here, right?
Yeah, right. RY. Just a moment.
Hey, do one thing. Give MySQL -h. show me your go and take me to your database page once, console. Yeah, scroll down once.
Here I select a configuration.
Yeah, just scroll down. Scroll down further. Yeah, just go up, just go up. Just go up. The instance name is MySQL database only, no?
Yes.
Okay, just go up. Okay. So, okay, just go to security group there once. I just want to check.
Security groups there.
Scroll down. There only.
Okay. I think security group will come under this connectivity and security.
Yeah, scroll down here. Yeah, so everything is active. MySQL, that is clear only. Scroll down. Yeah, click on that security once.
This one?
Yeah, yeah. Both check the inbound and outbound. Yeah, it's correct only, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Outbound, can we check outbound as well? This traffic. This is also correct.
Okay. So there is somewhere some other thing is there. Let's fix it. Okay, go to command prompt again. Okay. Type MySQL hyphen space hyphen H space paste that your complete
This
endpoint.
endpoint, right? Okay.
Yes. You are in sudo su only, no? You're in super root user only, no? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, space hyphen P, capital P 3306 space. The port number is 3306 only, no?
Correct. Yes, 3306.
Yeah, hyphen U space. What is the database name? MySQL database, no?
Yeah.
Space hyphen P.
Samir, minus U is for username, right?
Yeah.
Minus U option.
Okay. Do one thing.
Admin, I
Can you
guess.
give the admin after hyphen U? No.
Okay.
Remove that. Remove MySQL database. admin. Yeah, space hyphen P.
Samir, EC2 user is name is EC2 user.
No, this is database username admin.
Oh, okay.
Enter. Give the password.
India 1, 2, 3. Oh,
Connected.
yeah.
Okay.
Connected.
Now run the command of from here you need to how to run your database commands, right?
So here,
Show databases.
how
There is no databases only.
so how I can check database, right? So database, right?
Show databases.
How do you create a database?
Colon.
No, you need to give
Semicolon.
colon. Without colon, it won't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you know how to create a table.
I don't know. Actually, I mostly experience in MySQL, SQL Server. I'm trying to do the same here in command prompt.
Okay.
Test table, then column.
No. Wait. Create database first. Type.
Database is there. Okay. Database is there. MySQL.
No. We'll create one more database. No problem. Create database. Okay. Capital. Actually, create database should be in capital in MySQL. Type
I will put
create. Full create should be capital. Okay. Space. What you want to create? You want to create Flipkart. Type space Flipkart colon.
Oh.
No.
It's not a space.
Space. Yeah, Flipkart colon.
Okay.
Enter. Okay. Show databases. Flipkart came there.
Yes,
Okay.
Flipkart came. Yes.
Yeah, before you already created MySQL. That's the reason this is a new database you created. Okay.
So connect the database.
Now after that,
Use
you want to
use
create
Flipkart.
Use Flip. This command, right?
Yeah, Flipkart.
Okay. Now it's a
Now
Flipkart
create
connect.
table.
Create table. My user table. ID. Sorry. It's colon, right? This colon. Okay. ID number.
from here on, Pratik, you want to know? Here is Pratik.
Yes. I'm.
It will work, right?
Yeah, here on they can write the queries and they can do whatever they want. It's our our database is done. So now he's writing SQL,
Yes.
Microsoft queries. It is throwing an error.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's
MySQL query format is different. You should not use that semicolons, that colons and other things and all. It will throw an error. So you need to follow the normal process.
correct. Yes. Okay. So here I think they're just syntax different. So then we can create a database and we insert the values into the table.
Correct.
Yeah.
So rest all things is same to same. Now if database got connected, that's it. So our connectivity part is done. So they can do whatever they want, Pratik. Now the application developer can write the queries and he can play with it. Okay.
Samir, last time I did try this RDS is created, but I did try to connect the database through window. So what I was facing the issue, the database was not connected.
You copy that MySQL connectivity command. We are wrongly we are using the database name behalf of admin. So there we made a mistake. So you paste that again in that notes, and you can share it in the group.
Okay.
After step 4, copy that full command which I've given you, MySQL -h.
I will copy whole, so then everyone aware. Okay, this is the root. Oh.
Just drag it to middle.
Hmm?
Just drag it to middle so that the whole thing can show everyone.
Okay, so the now database is created. Then next step, Samir.
Yeah, so then once that is connected is done, no, in the bottom step 6, after step 6 notepad, you just write some commands how to create the database. Just now I told you, no, create database name, colon.
Okay.
Yeah, just mention that and send it in the group.
Create the database, add a table. Okay, so then create a database, then command.
Samir, this is about the multi-tier architecture where you have a database instance separate and application instance separate. How about a single tier architecture where your database and application going to reside on the same server?
That time, if you want to put everything in the same server, then you need to install manually in the single local machine.
Okay, so meaning
So-
I cannot
so-
create an RDS instance. I will have to create an EC2 instance and I need to take RDS as a service there.
Yes.
Okay.
You can save this. Okay. Now you send it in the group. Let me share my screen. Make me host once they wish. Yeah, this you can send it in the group.
Yeah, I will send that. So then, do you want to take the control?
Yes. Make me host.
So how is there? It's a stop sharing, right, or something?
Just stop your sharing, and
okay.
There is an option called participants. There's my name will be there. No, Syed Samir. You need to make it as change it to host. You got it?
Samir.
Or else you.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Okay, I can. Okay. Okay, so we have discussed and we have seen about the databases, right? So we have seen like RDS database, how to create SQL, how to create MySQL and SQL Server. Same way the Oracle, whatever you want, you can create and you can configure. So these databases like RDS and NoSQL databases are there, right? Similar way, we have some few more databases like Elastic Cache is there, which is one more very important database. So which we are going to learn. So this is also basically AWS Elastic Cache is nothing but which is used for in-memory database, we say, and where if you want to speed your application performance, and if you want to speed your database accessibility, or the performance of your database with high throughput, Amazon is providing you a solution called as Elastic Cache. So Elastic Cache is basically meant for extreme performance, means whenever your application requires a super fast or very good performance, this Elastic Cache will help you to increase the performance of your databases. And it is fully managed, and you don't need to do any kind of management and all. Software patching, setup, configuration, monitoring, everything is taken care, and it is very scalable. So basically, if you ask me what is this caching and what is this Elastic Cache and where does it uses? So for the real-time analytics, for the session storing, for the machine learning technologies, right? This caching is very good solution. Basically, Elastic Cache is very good solution for the real-time transactions and other stuff. So for any application, for any kind of a database, if you want to use, you can use this. So otherwise, like in your, how you have, for your normal computer, you have a virtual memory, right? So in your laptop, you have virtual memory. So what will be the purpose for your virtual memory? So whenever your existing memory or existing machine doesn't has that much capacity to give you the performance, that time this will be using. So same way, Elastic Cache is a solution which will be helping you for the extreme performance, where it supports two types of caching technologies. One is called as Redis cache and second one is called as Memcache. What are the types of caches that are available? Redis cache and Memcache. Okay. So now, where do you use this caching and how it can, basic use cases, you might understand, right? You might have a question. So for example, there might be some websites, like you might see that in there will be load time is there, no? When you load the website, some people will say that, no, the website is loading very, very slow, right? And the gaming websites will be there. It will be further, it will take more time because a lot of graphics need to be loaded in the backend, and it should fetch the information from the database. So if some data wants to fetch and some API calls need to be done on the overall performance side, so this in-memory data solution, nothing but database. So what it will do is that this will be very faster solution if you go with Elastic Cache. So Elastic Cache, what it will do is that it will provide you a solution where it provides you the speed, it provides you the data access pattern, and it provides you a solution to load your application very, very faster with these kind of a solutions called as Redis and Memcache. So initially, actually the Redis and Mem is basically, it's an open source technologies. So open source means if you don't want to use Amazon Elastic Cache, you can directly go to Redis. It's an open source technology where you can download, and it is being developed by Redis Labs. It is like, it works on the Unix operating system basically. So Redis, in the sense, to understand easily, it is called as remote dictionary server, and other name we call it as in-memory key value databases. So very popular database system for the performance, basically used for RDBMS technologies, and it supports different types of languages like C, C Sharp, and other, Java, Perl, PHP, all types it is supported. The major use cases, as I told you, Amazon also using, Microsoft is also using, Alibaba is also using in these clouds for the Redis, as I told you, for the caching purpose, full page cache or queue application or leaderboards or counting of the applications. For all these are the use cases of this Redis cache. Same way, Memcache is also one solution. So memory caching is called as Memcache. So memory caching is again an open source developed by developers called, interactive developers, which they downloaded from GitHub. It's a cross-platform solution, and it has its own licensing. So memcache.org, if you go, they will provide you. This is also for the caching purpose, where memcache is also used in so many YouTube, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter. All these people uses this memcache for the fast performance on the loading. So it's basically a client server mechanism to give you the faster solution for accessibility of your applications. So like this, both Memcache and Redis Cache are two open source technologies which are integrated with your Amazon Elastic Cache. So Amazon Elastic Cache started in 2011, almost 9 years back, which provides a solution so for the caching. And they have, what Amazon did is that they have added some more features in this Elastic Cache, and they use this Memcache solution, and they are providing to their customers as it is an open source. Now, these two solutions, we call it as, Elastic Cache as service. So very good service. It is designed, as I told you, right, for higher performance. If any application or any websites or applications which are using your existing databases and which needs a good speed and good performance, you can use this cache and you can increase your performance of your applications which are using your existing databases, which will support SQL, Oracle, whatever the RDS databases are there, right? For those kind of a databases, you can use this Elastic Cache. So these two, it's nothing, as I told you, for the majorly used for intensive web applications or the high-end web applications. So both are open source technologies, so which you need to install and which you need to assign it, and both supports multiple availability zones. It's supported, and caching model, as I told you. So in the background, you can directly use to your EC2 instance also. No, you want to use it to your databases also, you can use. So Elastic Cache is a web service that helps you to improve the performance of web application by allowing fast managed in-memory cache instead of relying entirely on slow disk based databases. So rather than using a slower databases, you can directly go and configure your Elastic Cache. How does it increase the performance? Basically, what it does is that since memory is order for magnitude faster than disk query served by Amazon Elastic Cache, will significantly return faster than the database because it is using in-memory solution. And it also automates your infrastructure by using the software and patch management. People are using it to build for different machines very quickly. So developers handling intensive workloads, if they have a huge workloads, with this Elastic Cache, what it does is that they can integrate with the applications to run it faster. So this cache, as I told you, it supports two types, Memcache and Redis Cache. So application needing a data structure server will find the Redis engine more useful. Suppose if your application requires a data structure.
अमृत घर पे ही देना रूम पे.
Hello. Yeah. So application needing a data structure will run this, and it will provide you the, when you integrate with your current applications, you can use it. So whenever you have any applications, to that applications, you need to add this, cache. So which will help you for different types of features like dashboard activities, counting, session management, and tracking. All are the different options you have. So by default, Amazon provides you free tier of 750 micro node hours for your Elastic Cache, where you can use this for your Elastic Cache. If you want to test it, how this Elastic Cache works, the only thing is that you need to install this Redis. So either in your Linux machine or a Windows machine, you need to install. So mostly it works very well with your operating systems like Linux, Windows and all. So for your applications, you need to create, you can integrate it. So first thing is that same like how you did it in your Linux MySQL, what you did, you install the Linux server, you install the database, and you used what is that command, MySQL client, yum install MySQL client to install, and you connect it, right? Same way here, you need to install, in any of the Linux machines, like Amazon Linux or Ubuntu or which are the Linux you want. And after the Linux machine install, you need to install this Redis client. So if you install the Redis client on the Linux machine, the client will get installed. Same way how you created the database, the same way you need to go and configure the Redis database in your Elastic Cache. If you go to Elastic Cache, there is an option called as Redis, and there you can create a database. And once you created the database there, now then you need to run the command to connect to the Redis database, and you execute the commands, and you can see the performance, how fast the results will come. So that you can use it for any of your applications. So your developer will tell you how to integrate with your application and all. So that I'll show you in the Elastic Cache when we install. That time I can show you how exactly it will work. So the overall understanding is that you need to understand. So Redis is a technology, MEM is a technology for the caching purpose, to give your existing application performance faster, to reduce the load time, basically meant for the dashboards and leader counts and other stuff, which you can use this Elastic Cache. This is also one of the database. And Amazon also provides one more database called as Neptune database. This is also for the people who want to maintain the graph databases for the AWS. So if they want to go with graph database solution, Amazon is providing this database. So Amazon Neptune is purely meant for the graph database service. So you might ask, what do you mean by graph database service? So see, graph is nothing but, so if you take Amazon Alexa as an example, right? Whenever you speak anything, that Alexa, what it will do is that it will try to communicate and it try to integrate between multiple solutions, and it will give you the different user. Whenever they communicate, there should be some kind of a graphical system to communicate with the other source. So this graph database is one of the solution which Amazon is providing. So what is this solution? It does is that graph database is a solution which provides, like, industry standard solution, where you can communicate, where you can create multiple databases on your use cases. And Neptune is a solution which is for your all kinds of frameworks, all kinds of queries, you can define it. And also this graph database, not only to run or build the applications, it is also for your fraud detection methodology, social networking sites, recommended engines. Everywhere you can use this solution for your graph database. The graph database use cases is that, as I told you, life sciences, social networking, IT operations, and recommendations. These are the different use cases for your graph databases. Neptune reference customers, these are the customers. Thomson Reuters is there, Siemens, Intuit, Netflix, Zeta, Pearson. These are the different customers which they use this graph databases. And Amazon Neptune, as I told you, high performance, durable, and you can see, right? These are the different architectures where we use it, basically meant for the developers to use this for the solution. And distributed storage architecture, it distributes between the multiple tier solution where you can create the caching, and it gets replicated across 3 availability zones, and where you can configure and where you can scale in and scale out the architecture for the graph databases. And read replicas and high availability is there. So whenever you configure the graph database, right, the high availability is there, and the cache pages will be there for the replication purpose for the graph database. And availability, primary, if anything failover is there, secondary failover option is there. So all these are the different use cases for your Neptune graph database. Again, as I told you, this is also for the developers who want to work on with your websites, IT operations, recommendations, there they can use this graph database. All these are the use cases what they use it. Okay. Now this Elastic Cache or graph database to work, you just need again an application integrated solution to do this. Now, how do we work on it? Go here. One second. To do this, you need to have to do an Elastic Cache solution or anything. You need to have the Elastic Cache created. You need to go to RAD services and in the database. Elastic Cache. Okay. One second. Go here. This is the Elastic Cache which will support, and you need to say get started now. Memcache or Redis cache, which cache you want, you can plan, right? So I can say Redis cache. Is it in Amazon cloud or your on premises? It's in an Amazon cloud. You can give here name demo, description, Redis cache for Ubuntu. Scroll down. Port. You can define here node type. You can go for T2 micro and save. Do you need replication or not? I will not say. I'll say 0, no replication. If you don't want availability zone, we can remove it. Single standalone server.
Samir, here the port should be the same, like we have created a SQL Server database port and here this port. It should be the same or different will be fine.
It will be different also fine. Okay, so here you can select, scroll down, default. I am not enabling the backups and all those things. And I'm not enabling any encryption and all. Basic configuration, put here and say create. Where is the error? Okay, name. Okay, my Redis cache. Okay, and say create. What happened? Wait 1 second. Redis demo My Redis VPC.
Sorry, VPC you don't need to change. VPC, it is saying the VPC is already belong. So VPC don't need to change.
No, we are using the default one only, no? My Redis cache belongs to VPC, then VPC ID. What is this VPC ID CSE? Two three seven C. One second. CB9A5. It's a default one. Okay, we can use this one. Okay. Redis, Amazon Cloud, demo lab, node type, T2, T2 micro, save, number of replicas 0, multiple availability zone uncheck. Yeah. Subnet group, my Redis cache, no preference. Okay. It's getting created. You want to test it, go here, click on EC2. Linux. Okay, let me install Ubuntu. Next, 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 next. Anywhere, launch, create a new key pair. Ubuntu, download key pair.
Hello.
Okay, now sudo apt update. Then sudo apt hyphen get install Redis. Apt hyphen. So now Redis CLI hyphen H, the database instance we need to go. Click on services. Go here. Okay. 1 second. Let me put it in the notepad. Okay. Demo lab dot, what is that? It is there. SKECRV dot 0001 dot APS1 dot Apache dot cache dot Amazon AWS.com. Where it is CLI. What happened? Redis CLI. Okay. One second. Okay. So now it is trying to connect to that Redis cache.
Samir, can you show the command to install Redis?
Which one?
You just install Redis on Ubuntu, right? Can you show the command for that?
Install the Redis client. Huh?
Right.
So this is the command.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Samir.
Okay, one second. Just wait, it will take some time. Maybe the Redis client is not ready, I think so. One second. In sync, it's available. Let us see. Just gives couple of minutes. Let us see. It's taking some time. Generally, it will not take that much time. It will take 2 to 3 minutes, but once it is connected, it will show you that Redis has been connected. Maybe it's taking some time. We need to wait. Okay, let me see one thing. Okay, maybe in EC2, I need to check what port has been opened. Maybe this is the reason it is not connecting. Probably now it should connect. Hmm. One second. Let us see the name is correct or not. EC2 Elastic Cache. Can somebody check this and tell me if it is correctly mentioned or not? Demo lab skecrv dot 0001.
Port is not defined, I think.
No, port is okay, but just check demo lab skecrv1 dot 0001. Okay, let us see that. Demo lab dot skecrv dot 0001 dot aps1 dot cache.
Yes. APS.
aps1 dot cache. aps1 dot cache dot amazon aws.com. Correct only, no?
Yes.
No, this is the thing which we need to use it. There's nothing more we need to use. Yes, same thing we need to use. There's nothing this. Okay, let me use the port number also. 6379. Six three seven nine, right?
Yes. Colon. I think put the colon or without colon.
Actually, port number not required. Actually, if to be honest, it should connect. Not sure why it is taking this much. Okay. Security group, this one, SG885B4011. Okay, let me check this. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Security group. What is that security group? 885B40F1, correct? Security group. I think that security group, what it is created, no, maybe that this one. Okay. Okay. Now let us see this. See, connected, right? Can you see that?
Yes.
Samir,
So what you have changed, Sami?
but you
Yes.
change in VPC level all traffic, right?
I just made that security group traffic allowed. That's it. Because it was trying to connect, but it's not able to connect because that security group doesn't have the traffic allowed. That's the reason. See, it is connected now very fast. Within second, it connected the moment we enabled it. Now you can go here. You can see, you can define the name. This again, your developer who want to write the queries and integrate, he can do it. Get name Samir. Okay, so like this you can write the queries. So you can see, right, it got connected. Only the problem was, if you go to the services, if you go to this Elastic Cache, we need to define the Redis cache details. That was not there. So here it was there, the Redis cache was there, but this security group is there. No, we didn't allow the rule for this security group. The default one at the time of creation. Can you see this? So what I did is that I went and I allowed it. The moment I allowed, because we allowed in the EC2 instance, but we didn't allow in the Redis cache security group, which has been configured with that VPC. That's the reason it was stopping. The moment we allowed it, it started created. That's it. So now this commands is there, no sudo apt get install and all. These all are the Unix commands, means Ubuntu commands. So to install the packages and other things. So if you go and type help no, you will get all those commands which you can use it.
So Samir, how I can create the same in a window? Is a SQL server?
No. This is for the Linux. If you want to do it in Windows, you need to install MSI installer, Windows installer. So if you type Redis cache installer, client installer, you'll get it in Google.
Okay. Okay.
It is normal exe file. Next, finish. Okay.
Samir, can you send that history comments in the WhatsApp group?
These comments, no, 1 second. Now I am putting it in the group. 1 second. But see, again, this will change. Okay, Nanju, this is for Ubuntu. If you are going with Amazon Linux or other Linux, again, command will change. So don't blindly use these commands only. You just need to do accordingly. 1 second. 1 second, I'm sending it. I have kept it in the group. You got it? No?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys.
I mean, will you check my issue? Yesterday I have messaged you.
Which issue is this regarding?
Regarding the billing issue, which I am not.
So let me tell you. You got how much bill? 700 rupees, huh?
Yeah, 700 something.
Yeah. So no need to worry about it. See, in general, if you leave it like that, definitely you'll get a bill. Have you not deleted it after you're done with the lab?
No.
So whenever you complete the labs, right, make sure that you delete it. If not, you get it.
No, actually, I am not getting where it's increasing day by day. It's showing charges data transfer.
You are using anything internet there?
No.
एक बार can you show me can you ping me offline? I will just check what you've enabled.
Samir, will you be free in the evening? I need to call regarding some requirement I have. So can we be? Are you free in evening? Can I
Yeah,
call
you
you?
can give me a call, no problem. Now, who got the bill? Simantha, you can just ping me
Yeah.
offline and I will send me the link. I will join. Okay.
Thank you.
Who and Samir?
Just now, now you call me.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thank you.